Well, hello everybody. I just about said good morning once again. It is morning here, but wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, I'm glad you're joining me for another daily dose of the Bible. We're in Genesis right now. We've gone through 4 chapters, and Adam and Eve have had a little family. Well, of course, first the history of creation, and then, they had a great time in the garden for a while. I don't know how long, it doesn't say. And then they sinned and were cast out of the garden. And it seems as though their children are, like today's society where, or, the culture of today where, the parents might, one of them goes to jail, or one of them is a drug user, or, or they both, whatever, they neglect their children. Those children grow up to make poor choices too. And in chapter 4, we read about a really poor choice that their son made and murdered their other son over jealousy, over an offering. Like, you have God's favor and I don't. I hate you and I will kill you. And he paid the price for that. And at the very end, we see Adam and Eve coming together with a new son and bonding back together with the family, just to, so starting over, basically, like so many of us sometimes do have to do in this life, in modern culture. Chapter 5 is called The Family of Adam. It's kind of a, begets and begots kind of book. So we'll go through and see how Adam's family line goes. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day of God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. He created them male and female, and blessed them, and called them mankind, and in that day they were created. And Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son in his own likeness, after his image, and named him Seth. After he begot Seth, the days of Adam were 800 years, and he had sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Seth lived 105 years, and begot Enosh. After he begot Enosh, Seth lived 807 years, and he had sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Enosh lived 90 years. He begot Canaan. After he begot Canaan, Enosh lived 815 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. Canaan lived 70 years and begot Mahalalel. After he begot Mahalalel, Canaan lived 840 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. Mahalalel lived 65 years and begot Jared. After he begot Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had sons and daughters. So all of Mahalalel's days were 895 years, and he died. Jared lived 162 years, and he begot Enoch. After he begot Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Enoch lived 65 years and begot Methuselah. After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked 300 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Now that is one of the 2 people in the Bible. I think there's 2. It's Elijah or Elisha, whichever one goes up in a chariot, and Enoch, who, everybody else, it says they lived for 800 years and then they died. Well, Enoch walked with God for 365 years, and then just God took him. It doesn't say he died. So we assume that he's one of the 2 people that never died. God took him straight up to heaven. Maybe he might be one of the witnesses in the end times, him and Elisha, for some reason. And he is also the father of Methuselah, who is the longest recorded life in the history of humankind. Methuselah lived 187 years and begot Lamech. After he begot Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Lamech lived 182 years and had a son, and he called his son Noah, saying, "This one will comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord has cursed." After he begot Noah, Lamech lived 595 years and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Wow, he was old when he had his first children, right? And there's somebody back here who was only 65. That's pretty young. You know, I'm not sure these people really lived 900 years as we consider years in this day and age. I think that they must have had a different measurement. I mean, or also it's pre-flood, and I don't know, I wonder if God changed his plan back then when he, you know, after the flood, maybe he decided to shorten our lifetime. And I do think there's a part in here where he says something about shortening our lives to 120 years or something like that. But that is the history of Adam's family up to Noah. There's, you know, a lot of life in there. A lot of sons and daughters are born, and a lot of some of them served God, some of them didn't. We don't have a deep account of their families or their beliefs or anything like that in the Bible. But we do know that they were important people that led to, well, Noah is the first person that comes out of this lineage that we are going to hear a great story about in the next chapter. And along that lineage, we all come from that. So, you know, that's the beginning of humanity and humankind and the first family, the first family. And I just pray that you'll take this information and use it to comfort yourself at any time you're feeling like, you know, oh, I'm too wicked, or, you know, I made too many bad choices, there's too much evil in my life, blah, blah, blah. God would never want me. Just remember that he protected Cain after murdering his brother. He is going to, you know, he comforted Adam and Eve in that time of loss. And, you know, they made a horrible choice themselves, and he forgave them, and he walked with them for the rest of their lives, guiding and directing their families and using them to bring about today's society and everyone in between. We can all just praise God for his wonderful faith and trustworthiness, that he will never let us, he'll never leave our sides, and all we have to do is turn around, and he's there to forgive us and set us on a new path, his path, and the best path for any life.